Hi, and welcome to another desktop tutorial video. In today's video, we will look at user blocks. Let's start off by clicking on the Go button, then selecting Templates, and under the auto config files, we're going to create a new file. Firstly, I'm going to save this, and I will call it user blocks. Note that it cannot be called anything else, and I'll save it. In here, I might go and let's just, as an example, add a circle. If I want to, I'll go and set my grid. And all I'm going to do is I'll select it, tag group it, and then I'm going to call it user block 1. Now I'm going to save it, and then under my templates I'm going to select template.dgm and use this as a basis to create a new file. So I'm going to save it. In this case the name doesn't matter, but I'll call it template user blocks just for us for later use. On the template, I might go as a standard template and add text, for example like my XY start point. I can go and add my tscon markers. Let's say in this example I'm going to only use A, B, C and D. And then to make sure that the user block is on this template, I'm going to add just another set of text in here, and I will call it user block 1. We might have a couple of user blocks, so we want to specify exactly where our user block gets generated. Okay, I'm going to save that. Now I'm going to go back to my loop. Now the document over here, we have to add a field called user blocks under my document table. If you have not done it, you can go to tables, select your document table, modify it, and then add the user blocks field name in there with text, and you can give it a maximum field size of 255. Okay, while we're here, I might as well open my document, go then for say 20 F01 to the user blocks field, and in here I'm going to type in user blocks or user block 1. Okay, if I add any additional ones in here, I will just space them using a comma. So I might have a user block 2 in there as well. Okay, let's do this in the meantime. Go back to my template, and over here I'm going to add the location for user block 2, save it, and if I go to this auto config file of ours, I'm going to create a second one, make it user block 2. This first circle over here, I'm going to fill it, say with red, and the second one I'll fill it with green. Okay, so I'm going to save it, go back to my loop, and I'm just going to refresh this data so that you can see there under user blocks I've got user block 1 and 2. The next thing that I want to do is I'll go to the properties, select the correct template, and I'll click on preview to generate it. Okay, you'll notice that the two user blocks have been generated, user block 1 and user block 2. And I can go and do a few cosmetic things. For example, I can go back to my template, I can space out my tscons maybe a bit more. Just put my XY start point over there. And now what I want to do is I want to space this correctly over here. User block itself, the left resize point over there will match up to the left side of my box over here. So that left resize point over there. Now, just as additional note, notice that I've got my user block text over here on my border layer. If I were to switch this to, for example, the general layer and preview this again, it won't work. As an additional example, I created two user blocks, user block control, that will basically describe my loop control, and then secondly, user block card power, that will go on my detailed connections, and from my first terminal go back to the left and then extract the device tag there. That basically is the power to that card. Now if I were to go to my loop and preview my document, you will see that my loop control pulls in here on my instrument orders, and then also that device tag number that pulls in over there for my card power. So you can basically go and use the user blocks to pull in additional information onto your diagrams. Thank you for watching this desktop tutorial video. We trust it was informative.